Hi again, here's a second video talking about style sheets and CSS, right? This is still a bit of an introduction, okay? In the last video, we, linked our style sheet with the link tag, right? And then we created a style sheet here and we wrote a couple simple styles in it that set the font size and the color of the page and stuff, right? Okay, so that's all working pretty good. Let's throw in a couple more styles. My document has this this block quote here, right? And I kind of like this block quote, but what I want to do is I want to style it, right? So this is the block quote tag, and using the same idea that we took from the last video, we can style block quote. Okay, so I'll say block quote, curly braces, and then we'll give it some styles. So maybe for the block quote is here where it says the problem is there are no simple right answers, right? So just these two lines, right? Okay. So we can give it a background color. Why don't we make it kind of inverse to the rest of the page? So we'll make it darker. Let's make it kind of another, we'll just stick with the grays because those are easy ones to come up with. Let's make it like, we'll make it 666. It'll be the color of the header there, right? Okay. So I refresh it, and there you can see I've got this darker gray there, okay? Now there's a couple things. Well, I'm going to talk more about the box model later, but we'll just go over a simple example with the box model right now. So don't worry about the box model. We're going to come back to it, okay? And really dig deep. This deserves a whole class, right? Okay? But anyway, when you have a box like this, it looks a little weird when the text goes right up to the edge. Like that looks kind of ugly, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some padding, okay? And I'll add 1 em of padding, right? That way the amount of padding will be equal to 1 character size, right? Really an em is the size of the letter M. That's the widest character in any character set, right? So it's the width of the letter M, okay? So anyway, there's our padding, right? Let's see what the padding looks like. I'll save the file, refresh the browser, and then now you can see there's 1 em of space. Okay, so the padding goes inside the block quote but pushes away from the content. Okay, maybe I need a little more space around the outside. So what's that, right? I don't want to expand the dark gray area, but I want to push away from the other text here and here, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add margin, okay? And for the margin here, I'll say, how about 1 em of margin too, right? So we'll do 1 em. So then I'll refresh there, and now you can see I've got 1 character space of space around the outside. Maybe I want more than that though, right? Maybe I'll change that to 2 em. Okay, oh, now I've got a lot more space there, right? Maybe I want a border around this box, okay? So what I'll do is I'll type in here, I'll say, border. I'm going to write the border a little bit differently. I'm going to write border colon, and in order for the border to work, we actually have to have 3 values. We have to have a color. Let's do D as the color, space. We have to say what type of border. It can be dashed, solid, double. There's a few border styles. So I'm going to do the solid border, which just creates a solid line, okay? And then we have to say the size of the border, okay? And maybe I'll make this a 4-pixel border, okay? So it should be 4 pixels, solid, and then this color, which is kind of a light gray. Actually, I forgot that's the color of the background. We got to make it a little bit lighter or darker. Let's make it, how about AAA? There we go. Oh, so now I can see the border. There's 4 pixels. Maybe I'll make it a little bit thicker. It's kind of hard to see on the video maybe. So there we go, right? 6 pixels, right? So there's my border. Let's investigate this. So when you're looking at your styles in the browser, a great way to kind of learn how they work and also to work with them and test them and kind of adjust them and stuff is to use the inspector. And if you're in Safari, you'll have to go to Preferences and turn it on. You'll have to go to Preferences, Advanced, and then there's a little checkbox at the bottom. If you're in Chrome, it's on automatically, and you can get to the inspector by doing this. Control-click or right-click in the browser, and then choose Inspect. And this is the inspector over here. And here you can see this is my HTML document as sort of a tree, right? I'll zoom in on it a little bit here, right? And you can see this is the block quote that I have selected there. And then down here, you can see the style that I've applied to the block quote. So this actually is showing me what I've written in my style sheet, right? It says block quote, and then it's got, you know, background, padding, margin, border, right? And you can actually edit the values here. So if I like this border there, but it really should have been 16 pixels, like I can just type a 16 in there and see what it looks like, right? Okay, so let's get back to the box model. So what is the box model? Tags come in two varieties, and this is actually a style that you can set. It's sort of all the tags have a default setting for this. It's called display, and everything can display as inline or block. Okay, inline elements are like text. So the words here are displaying inline. The strong tag and the abbreviation tags are inline, so they just flow with the text. They go left to right, and then they wrap at the end of the line. Block elements are boxes, like this block quote. Okay, the H1 is a block. The paragraphs are blocks. So blocks expand to fill the page and then stack up one block on top of the next. Okay, so when I look over here, you can see that the H1 here is a block. This paragraph is a block. Underneath it, the block quote is a block, right? The paragraph is a block. Okay, it's blocks all the way down, right? Okay, so blocks, they follow this rule with the box model, and the box model describes a block in this way. So this little window right here is showing me the box model. Sometimes this is on a metrics tab, and you click on metrics. I think that's where it shows up in Safari, right? But anyway, this is the size of the interior, so where the text is in here, right? It's 866 by 27 tall. And then there's padding. Actually, let me click on the block quote here, right? Yeah, or actually, yeah, here we go. So this is 726, by 81 tall, 726 wide, right? And then there's padding, and you can see that goes inside the gray area, right? The green there. So it's inside the dark gray box, 18 pixels all the way around the outside. And then there's a border, so the border goes outside the gray box, and this is 16 pixels in this case. And then outside the border is an area called margin. So margin pushes other things away from the box, but it doesn't include the colored area or the border. Okay, so that's a quick explanation of the box model and some of the properties that go with it. We'll talk more about the box model in detail later, and we'll do a lot with this because this is how you set up the layout of your page and you lay out elements on the page, right? But for right now, you can just do the things that I've done here. You can set the background color, padding, margin, and border. Okay, so anyway, that'll get you started there. Thanks for watching.